February, President Trump began downplaying the coronavirus by likening the illness to the seasonal flu.
People are like, I think I have the flu. Could it be the coronavirus? Overall, most people should not be terribly concerned about it. You definitely want to pay attention.
Should they panic?
No, Americans do not need to panic. What I would suggest, however, is that Americans take this as a wake-up call for seasonal flu. Flu is a much bigger deal.
There's an important context we need to keep this in, and that is that the flu is more deadly.
Maybe this is a good opportunity to remind people of that.
Such a good reminder.
And while there's a lot of fear over this coronavirus, the flu is already widespread in the U.S., and it really is much more deadly, is it not?
Coronavirus is not going to cause a major issue in the United States. We're going to have 40 to 60,000 deaths this year in the United States from the influenza, and it's preventable.
And there are only 12 confirmed cases of coronavirus here in the state.
The risk is low. The risk, however, for the flu is through the roof.
Health warning from doctors why they say people should be more worried about the flu than the coronavirus.
Half of the people in America do not get a flu shot, and the flu right now is far deadlier. So if you're freaked out at all about the coronavirus, you should be more concerned about the flu.
So this is the Worldometer's website. All right, what's great about this is this will track all of the cases in the world. And what's interesting is there's filters on it. And now these are true numbers. These are the true numbers for all the countries in the world. And I scrolled down and started with the UK and the European countries because a lot of these countries don't have a lot of cases yet. Okay, so you're able to do this, and I'll show you how to do it. But what I want to point out here is the numbers in how our media and politicians, including Trump, like to lie about the truth. All right, so here's the truth. The United States, do we have the most cases in the world? Yes, we do. Oh my God, the media wants to tell you. Oh, we have the USA is now number one in the world. But are we really number one? Is that really truthful? Or is that just based on math? And this is going to show you the mathematics of how we're nowhere near number one. As a matter of fact, we're pretty much right in the middle of a lot of Europe. So this tab here is a total cases per million people of your population. All right, so it gives you kind of a better estimate based on your population of how bad your COVID cases are. As you can see, we have 881 cases for every million people. All right, so what is that? That's like 0.1%, I believe. I didn't bust out my calculator. I just did that quickly, but it's 1,000 out of a million. And there's 1,000 thousands in a million. So it's a very small number per million people, the population. It's a large number overall, but that is also because we have over 300 million people in our country. If we are right on par with countries like Ireland, Israel, Denmark, Sweden, the UK, and I mentioned these countries because those are some of the ones that a lot of our politicians kind of look to, like, oh, our healthcare system's not like, Denmark. I'm actually not totally sure about that, but I'm pretty sure Norway is one of the countries, and the Netherlands, and the Norway and Netherlands, they're doing worse than us per their population. And that's an important thing to recognize. Germany is doing worse than us. France is doing worse than us. Now, their overall numbers are not as big. Of course not. They can't possibly be as big because they don't have as big of a population. If 100% of their people, got it, then we'd be like, oh my goodness. So you really got to look at the percent or the ratio of people that are getting it to say how bad it is in each country. And as you can see, we are just like Europe, which kind of tells you something like, hey, this isn't unique to the United States or unique to any failure within the United States government. All of the government, not just Trump, not just the right, the left, the entire government, we're right on par with Europe and everybody else. Some are a little better, some are much worse. Another number to look at, your deaths per million of the population. All right, what's the truth about that? Are we up there in number of deaths? Yes, but how about per population? We're at 24. Which countries are worse? The UK's worse, Sweden's worse, Iran is worse, Denmark is worse, Ireland is the same. The Netherlands are much worse than us Portugal. Germany's a little bit better. France is much worse. We're in one of the top categories as far as not having people die from this. So what does that say about our healthcare system? Does that say we need to model Europe's healthcare system and their socialized medicine, or is our healthcare system running pretty efficiently right now? That's a good question. Now, again, the lying truth. How accurate is this? Well, we have to look at how many people we've tested. And as you can see, we've tested about 4,000 people per million of the population. Compared to a lot of these other countries, now we're not doing so well. Norway is testing 4 times as many people as we are, 4 to 5 times as many people we are, which is going to tell you why they're going to have more cases per population. They're testing more. The number is going to be higher for sure. So the fact is, we actually don't know how accurate these tests are at this point. We don't know the accuracy of these numbers because we're not testing enough people. And that's where the truth lies. Yes, these numbers are true, but what do they tell you? If you take any kind of conclusion, we don't know that that's actually true or not. So the issue is where we're getting our news from. So that Worldometer page is a great page. You get information, you get actual data, not just, who's got the most. You could actually look at the numbers in detail. And then here on the CDC website, you get actual articles that are news articles. It's not Sean Hannity giving an opinion. It's not Anderson Cooper giving an opinion. It's not politicians lying, saying they said something that they didn't say. All right. We got to realize this is a changing virus that's been going on. And as you see here on the CDC website, it was January 30th when they first realized that it could be even passed person to person. And we all know in America, we don't freak out right away. It's like no one thought, and I know people say this and they get hammered by it, no one thought this was going to happen. No, they weren't talking about it in the debates, the biggest threat to America being the coronavirus. We all were watching debates. The biggest threat is climate change. Well, guess what? We found out maybe that wasn't the first one. Maybe the first one was these viruses that are coming around. So the truth can lie, and you got to be careful when you're watching it. It happens all the time. And just realize when you're watching things, check out what's factual. Decide, who am I listening to? Am I listening to an opinion piece, or am I actually listening to news? And right now, it's full of opinions. So if you want to know where the truth lies, you come here back to check out the lying truth, and I'll set the record straight for you.